All right, welcome to the 70th Annual Colorado Football Media Day. We'll get started with Coach Prime, opening statement if you have one, and then we'll take some questions.
No opening statements, let's go.
When do you remember the first time that you thought, hey, I want to coach college football, and why was that attractive to you?
It didn't really work like that. It kind of worked like Coach Ray, who's on the staff right now, said there was a multitude of inquiries about me coaching college football. Because you got to understand, my kids were, Shador was getting ready to go to college. Charlotte was already in South Carolina. My daughter had one more year of high school, and I was just going to chill. So that's what the plan was until we started getting the inquiries. And then it started, I prayed about it, and God spoke to me, and I went out and did it at extreme level. Thank you. Good question.
Other questions?
Hey, Coach Ryan Koenigsberg from DNVR.
How you doing, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Excellent.
Who's one player, that doesn't have the fanfare of a Travis or a Shador that is standing out to you right now?
Xavier Weaver, for one. Let's see who else. It's 100 and some kids on here. Dylan Edwards is doing a phenomenal job. Shane Coates, certainly. It's a lot of guys who really giving it their all, man. They're really busting their butt, and they're doing a great job. And I can't wait till you see them perform with the new guys around them. So, but just off the top of my head, that's the few that stand out. Oh, I'm sorry. Every darn specialist, they're doing a phenomenal job. The kickers, the punters, unbelievable. I think we have some of the best in the nation.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned Xavier. I mean, what about him is standing out? And then also some of the other wideouts. Obviously, Jimmy coming back, Amarion coming in. What's the excitement about that room?
All those guys, they're so versatile, and they can score from anywhere on the field. And that presents a tremendous threat to defensive backs. They could take a quick hitch and go. Xavier can go. All those guys, especially the first group, along with a couple others on the second group, Chick, he can go. I mean, coming from Auburn, one of my homeboys from the hometown from Fort Myers, Florida, he can flat out play this game at a high level. So I can't wait to until you get an opportunity to see them work, because they definitely have a quarterback that could get it to them. We just got to protect him.
Hi, Coach. Adam Munster-Tiger, 24/7 Sports. You guys have put on full pads since the last time we talked to you. I'm curious what you've seen out of the trenches since then.
Let me start with the offense. Offense is doing a phenomenal job. I don't think they're doing a phenomenal job pass blocking as well as run blocking. What was in my mind, I was just saying killers. I hate using the word kill because of the media. You take it and run with it. But they have some guys that can move you off a spot. And we have a plethora, and I say plethora of backs that can get the job done. Any style you want. You want power, you want finesse, you want out of the gate, which is Dylan. You got so many guys that can get it done. I can't wait to see this run and attack as well. And the offensive line, they're doing their job. And they're going against some tremendous front. I mean, Shane Coates, to start it off, comes to practice with his lunch pill every day. You got several guys that we can really rush the passer well, I feel. I think we got a myriad of guys that can, from inside, from the outside, they can go get that quarterback and also stop the run and disable the run and dismantle the run as well. The offensive and defensive lines, they're doing their job, and they're in condition, they're in shape. Defensively, I think we have more depth than anything on the defensive front.
Hey, Coach. Tyler King with the Denver Gazette over here. We've seen you personally working with Cormani McLean at times during practice during fall camp. Just curious what your take is on him so far, what you're seeing from him, and what you're expecting from him as you guys.
He's coming slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. He just got to make that adjustment from college to high school emotionally, mentally, and psychologically, and he's going to be okay. but his condition, he's getting in shape. That's number one. And he's got to understand the different levels of this game, and you got to have your light switch on at all times, especially playing against the receivers that we have. You got to understand when he's out there on the twos or the threes, he's playing against oftentimes the ones offensively, because that's the way we practice, twos versus ones, or ones versus twos, and threes on threes. So oftentimes he's playing against some of the better guys on opposing squads.
Hey, Coach, Brian Howard from
What's
the
going
Daily
on?
Camera.
Got a little controversy, huh? How's that feel?
It's fine.
Okay. I'm just, you're in my shoes every now and then. I like y'all to be in my shoes
It's
every
okay.
now and then. I'd like to see how y'all feel. Yeah. Know how I feel every day. Is it pleasant?
What's that?
Is it pleasant?
Not ideal.
Okay.
But it's fine.
I welcome it.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
There you go.
We can see obviously that your family's very close. And
Yeah.
I'm
Your
just curious-
family?
Your family.
Okay.
And so I'm very curious what it means to you to be able to share this experience with your kids. I know your sister's working here as well.
Yeah. I don't know no other way. This is the way it's always been. You Jack guys are just getting an opportunity to see it. So I don't know no other way. My family was in Jackson with me. My kids have always been with me, and my kids have been to school with me growing up. So I've always, I don't recall a game except for when I was in the hospital for 4 weeks that anyone else has ever coached Shador. The only reason Shiloh had another coach because he went to South Carolina. So that's the way it has always been, from youth league, long as I can remember, boss these little soccer teams all the way up. I've been in their lives. I pride myself on being a real father. And, a good son to my mother, and as well as a good brother to my sister, and her kids as well, Tydasia and TJ.
Hi, Coach.
How you doing?
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
You talked about last week that the wide receivers room was flying all around.
Yeah.
On the other side of the ball, the secondary, are they meeting your expectations right now? And overall, what are you seeing from that
They're
group?
going to get there. They're not there right now. They're going to get there. It's hard to meet my expectations as a cornerbacks. I have tremendous expectations. Someone has to join Travis. That's it. Someone has to join Travis.
Coach Prime, Alex Ramirez, Mile High Sports, the final word. You talk about all these dogs, all these players that have been transferring to you, and
Yeah.
talk about your coordinators, because you can't be everywhere
me?
all the time. Talk about your coordinators that are, running when you can't see everything all the time, Coach. Talk
Yes, I
about the
can.
credit.
Yes, I
Talk about
can. Yes, I can.
that. You can.
Yeah, I can. But these guys are really good. I've been talking about them since I got here, hadn't I? I mean, these guys are really good. They're really successful. They're experienced. But not only that, you got to understand, we got Pat Sherman, Dennis Thurman as well. So I think the best thing we've put together has been the staff. And these guys are really good from top to bottom. Also the GAs, they're doing a phenomenal job as well. So the coordinators, it speaks volume. Matter of fact, I get to use your statistic, right? With Pat Sherman joining the staff, the collective experience of the 10 full-time assistant coaches and analysts amounts to 294 years of coaching, 93 seasons at the Power 5 level, 6 have college or pro head have been college pro head coaches with 30 years of experience amongst them. 4 have coached in the NFL for a total of 55 seasons, 88 bowl games, 51 10-win seasons, 40 conference championships, 29 playoff appearances, 6 national championships, 3,295 games coached, and 1,860 wins. I think we got a little experience. We did a good job with the staff. The staff is really good. I'm proud of them.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwan, it's DMVR.
How you doing?
Doing well. How are you? With Shiloh, just having him back fully healthy this year, but off the field and just mentality-wise,
Yeah.
what does he mean to this team, and what does he bring to this team?
Shiloh's a dog, man. Shiloh is a leader of men. Shiloh is not shy in his words. He's practicing his butt off. He's trying to hit everything he see out there. But he's doing his job. I think Shiloh, amongst a couple other DBs, right after they take their lunch in the meeting room, they're watching the film before the coaches even get a hold of it. So by the time the coaches get in, they've already made the adjustments and understand what they did wrong. And they're just taking it serious. They know they only have a couple more years at this thing, a few more years, and they're really taking it serious. They want to be dominant. They don't just want to win. So I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him, not only as a coach, but as a father. I'm proud of him.
Coach Sean Keeler of the Denver Post. Good morning to you, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Good. Sean Payton's not a fan of a lot of TV cameras around and hard knocks type stuff.
Yeah.
You've made a pretty good brand that way. How do you kind of toe that line? Because there's no right answer there, and you guys are both good at what you do, and
Right.
I can't see what he does doing what you do, and maybe vice versa. And if you ever just said, no, we can't shoot that, man, let's not
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
It's some things that we don't want you guys to know about it and hear about and see. First and foremost, Sean Payton is a dear friend of mine. He's one of the best coaches I think I've ever coached and walked the sidelines. He's going to do phenomenal things over there. I can't wait to see him. I haven't seen him. He's been here. I've been here. We haven't seen one another. But he was a blessing to our high school team when we went down to play Mississippi. We stopped in New Orleans, and he hosted us, and it was phenomenal. We actually practiced on the darn field, with him there, and it was quite rewarding. It's no right or wrong. It depends on the personality of the coach. I think Jimmy Johnson probably would welcome it, and Bill Belichick probably wouldn't. So it's no right or wrong. It goes with the personality. I'm always for a team. I want the kids to get the exposure that they want to receive, and which ultimately helps them getting to the next level and reaching their goals and ambitions. So I'm all for it. That's the only that's what these kids do, man. You can't see them. I don't know if you have kids, but you can't get the cell phone out of their hands. That's really what it is. So I want to accompany that dream by helping the kids reach their goals. So I'm all for it. But there's a lot of things you don't see that we don't want you to see.
Hey, Coach.
How you
Jack
doing, sir?
Carlo. Good. How are you?
Say that again?
Jack Carlo with
I
the
thought that's
Buffalo
what you said.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just curious. Obviously, the roster is totally different from the spring, but which position groups would you say have taken kind of the biggest leap from spring ball to now?
Every position group has taken leaps and bounds. The kickers probably remain to be the same. We may have one or two additions, long snappers or whatever, backup punters or whatever, but that's pretty consistent. But every position has really been enhanced. I feel like we've gotten better tremendously, all over the board.
Hey, Coach. Pat Graham, Associated Press. Sorry, over here in the corner.
Okay.
How you doing? Thanks for taking the time. Obviously, you had major roster turnover from spring game till now. I guess, was it harder implementing what you wanted to implement back in December and January, or was it harder to get the team up to speed right now?
Yeah, it was tremendously tough because you had some young men that just didn't want to play the game. They didn't love football. It's hard for me to be effective if you don't love it, if you don't like it, if you don't want to live it. That's tough. That's tremendously tough. When you're looking at a body of just dead eyes, that's tough on any coach, not just me. I'm pretty sure a multitude of coaches have experienced that until they could clean house and get the roster that they want. And it was tremendously challenging day by day. I'm happy with what I see every morning now. I really am.
Kyle Bonnegar with ESPN. Could you kind of describe what your ideal culture would be and where you are?
I don't know what that word means. Everybody always say that word, but that has no finite definition. What does that definition of culture mean?
Yeah, just kind of the environment that you create to get the most out of your players on a day in, day out basis.
I think we're doing a pretty good job of that.
So I guess where are you at in terms of where you want to be?
It's not to me to define the culture. It's for you guys. This is what you guys do. I know what we are. I know who we are, why we are.
No, I'm trying to learn from you because you know what it is. So I'm trying to.
I don't know. I'm not welcoming to that word culture. That's all I heard when I was at Jackson. Culture. Now culture. What in the heck does that mean? What does that really mean?
Are you saying there's like a negative connotation with
it? No, not negative. I just don't know what it means.
Yeah, I guess it's just creating an environment on a day in, day out basis to become a good football team, and like what little things you have to do every day to kind of maximize your potential.
I think you got to have unity whatsoever. You got to have good players. You don't have good players and that can't play the game. You don't have good coaches that can't coach the game. I don't know what kind of culture you're going to create. So we're trying to create a winning atmosphere. I don't know about the word culture. We're trying to win.
I think atmosphere is probably a good word for what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. We're trying to win, man. I don't care about culture. I don't care. I don't even care if they liked each other, man. I want to win. I've been on some teams where a quarterback didn't like the receiver, but they darn sure made harmony when the ball was snapped. And we're not like that. Trust me, these kids, they're very fond of one another. You see the cafeteria, it's not, I reiterate, it's not just a white table, black table, Hispanic or Asian table. I mean, all these kids are eating together, they're having a good time. So only you guys have the foolishness with getting along and coming in, and when you get a new job, now you got to go find out new friends, and you're reluctant to do that because you're set in your old darn ways. Kids are kids, man. I said it last time, you drop a kid off at a new school, he has a new friend in a day or so. Kids do that. So these kids have not, they don't care about that foolishness, man. They're fond of one another and they're working together handsomely. I know it's a huge overhaul, but it had to be done.
Go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
How you doing?
Jason Jones from Buffs Beat.
How you doing?
Just curious, earlier this week, Coach Hart mentioned that he'll slide guys up and down the depth chart just to test their mental. Is that something that's program-wide, or is that position group specific?
It's program-wide. It's program-wide. I think a lot of teams do that. A lot of coaches do that. You want to see, and you don't want people to get too comfortable. You don't want that. You don't want anybody putting a kickstand down and sitting in the rocking chair just rocking steady. You want to always have a little fire lit up under them. So that's what Coach Hart is speaking of. Matter of fact, we've been coaching together for about 20 years, so I pretty much know him like a book. Yeah, youth football, if you guys doing your homework. We've been coaching youth football together for a long time.
Go ahead, Pat.
Pat Rooney, Boulder Daily Camera. Coach, obviously you're set with Shadur at quarterback, but behind him, how has the competition?
You can't say it like that. Obviously you're set with Shadur. Well, who do you want me to play?
No, I mean, behind him,
The
I'm asking.
kid is pretty good.
Well,
you can't present the thing like that. Obviously you're set. You know how that sounds? That didn't sound
well,
good.
you did anoint him to starter when
You gotta package that thing a little different. You know, it's like I'm playing favorites because he's my son. You know, I'm the same guy who benched my son in the championship game for being 5 minutes late in Shiloh. So it's not like we're set with Shadur. I think he's earned the right to be the guy behind the center.
Fair enough.
That's why I'm set with it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
The question, though, is about the guys behind him.
Yeah.
Wanted to ask about that. Has anyone kind of emerged as that number 2 guy yet? Or is that
I don't know if they've emerged. I mean, they're doing well, but we're still unsatisfied. It's tough to satisfy us as our whole staff. So we don't want to miss a beat when if by God God, please don't let it happen. But if something happens with Shadur, I don't think he's ever missed a game with me. So I missed a game, but he had never missed a game, and since he's been a shorty, since he's been 7 years old. So we got to find that guy that we can trust, and he's in house. We just got to develop him.
All right, 2 more. Go, Matt.
Coach, can you take us through the game day operations a little bit as far as headsets? Who do you want up in the booth? Who's calling the plays? That type of stuff.
That's a lot, man. I can't remember everybody. It's a lot of people.
Maybe just the big ones. Maybe the key points.
Both coordinators will be on the field. Both analysts, although they can't make contact with the players, they'll be on the field. And Coach Sherman and Coach DT. OB will be upstairs for sure. No, OB will be down. I'm sorry. OB will be downstairs. Gunner will be upstairs. That's a lot of people. I'm just sitting up there thinking about offense and defense. But both our coordinators, that's what you need to know mostly. They'll be on the field. I like them to feel the guys. I like them to touch the guys. I know Coach Flea will be down as well. Coach Brett, he'll be up on the offense as well. Defensively, Sal will be up for sure. Coach Hart will be down. Coach Mathis will be up. Coach Nick will be down. That's probably the main staff of the defense, and then the GAs would be where they need to be. We've already sorted that out. We'll probably work not this weekend, next weekend, maybe on the game field to kind of get the headsets going so the guys can get a feel for one another. But we already have that structure to know who's going to be where. Great question, though. Great football question.
Go ahead, Tony.
Hey, Tony Casolo, Buffalo's Wire. How you doing today,
How
Coach?
you doing, sir?
Doing good. Colorado has always put out really good tight ends in the past. How do you see that position shaking out this year between all the guys that you've
Well, we wanted to
accumulated?
shake up a little bit. It's not shaking out right now. We wanted to shake up a little bit. Although the guys are doing a serviceable job, I don't want serviceable. I want playmakers. So they're doing the best they can right now. We sustained a couple injuries. I don't know if you guys have heard about that. A couple guys are one fella out for the season. But we have some guys that can do the job, and they're very serviceable. But I want a little better than that. Great question, though.
All right, any other questions for Coach? One more over here.
Where's my guys at with Neely? Where you guys at? You guys are doing a heck of a job, man.
Thanks, Coach.
Keep the fire up on this, but I watch you guys, so you guys are doing a heck of a job. Keep up the good work. And I suppose I'll have you guys come and watch practice with Neely one day, matter of fact, because he asked me, but I couldn't do it day one. Okay, so I got you.
Appreciate you, Coach.
I got you covered. Anybody else?
Yeah, Coach. Jimmy Searfoss, 247 Sports.
247, how you doing?
Doing all right, Coach. A few months ago, you were letter grading practices in
Excuse
the spring. A few months ago in the spring, y'all were letter grading practices. How would you letter grade camp so far?
Camp is going good. I'm happy. I'm happy with our guys. We're not satisfied tremendously because that's who we are. Oh, hi, Shador. What's going on, buddy? So, yeah, nothing much. So the guys they're doing really well. I like conditioning. I like guys flying around, getting to the ball, because that's how I was taught back in the day by Mickey Andrews, Coach Bowden. So we're demanding that. I think the defense ran a little bit after practice today for lack thereof, a couple plays here and there. But other than that, the guys are doing well. The receivers are really getting in sync with Shador, because he demands a lot. And he's a different guy when he steps on the grass, and he demands a heck of a lot. So they got to get on the same page as he's on. And other than that, we're doing well. We got to tighten up special teams for sure. Special teams can win and lose a game for you, and we don't take that for granted. I played on special teams. Our special teams coach, Trevor, played on special teams. That's how he made it into the NFL. So we take that tremendously serious, and we don't take that as a break, or you guys get an opportunity to go to the bathroom. Special teams mean a lot to us.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it. Is Shador next? Did I get to stay here and watch Shador? No. Why don't he want? Thank you. Why don't you ever want me to watch you, man?